Mediocre Disc Golf Podcast, an average podcast for the average disc golfer. As always, I'm Evan Amstutz, joined by the new co-host of the podcast, Kim Hatcher. We're happy you could join us. Kim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to be here. I'm really excited to join the podcast, and I'm just pumped. I am running on like 4 hours of sleep. I got back from a work trip this morning and we went and played this afternoon. So pretty tired, but I'm really excited to be here. I'm really pumped.
Yeah, not helped by the time change either. I'm tired from just that, so I can't imagine running on 4 hours of sleep plus the time change.
It's not even time change. Like, yeah, it's a 3 hour difference, but then daylight savings. So I felt like I got like whacked twice this weekend with
Yeah,
everything.
yeah. Well, since the last time we've had you on, there have been quite a few changes for you. What have you been up to?
Wow. For the most part, just figuring out where I'm at in disc golf more than anything. I think the last time we were on, maybe this summer. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I believe
Last time I
so.
was on. So since the summer, I'm now 910 rated. So which is insane to me. I didn't even think my rating would be that high, but I had a
That's
bunch of rounds that dropped
awesome.
off.
Hmm.
Yeah, insane. But past I'd say a couple months have been all about just trying to find where I am. Like for me, like I've always been good. I don't mean to sound cocky, but like I've always been a good player.
Hmm.
So now I'm getting to the point where everyone else is also really, really good. And I've been trying to step up my game, but there's this mentality that am I messing up my shots because I expect better? Or am I messing up my shots because it's a tough shot? Like I'm just always confused on like where the bar is for me, like where it needs to be. Because now I see like you guys, when we go out with you and Josh, you guys are always like doing all these awesome shots, and I feel like I can match that. But I don't know. It's a lot of mental the past couple months, just trying to figure out my mental game.
Yeah, because you're playing FPO now. Last time we were talking to you, you're FA1, tearing up that scene. So now you're officially a pro.
Yeah. With I think last in the summer it was you had me and Ellen Woodboom and Lowe, which I
Hmm.
love Lowe. And I'd been talking to Ellen about like when do you go pro? When do you do that? And I think around that time is like 850 rated. No big deal.
Yeah.
Like it could have gone pro. A lot of girls at 850 go pro, but I wanted to be ready and I feel ready now, but it's still definitely a new experience. I don't feel right playing FA1 anymore. With me being so highly rated, it feels like a thousand rated golfer, 990 rated golfer playing MA1. It's like, come on, dude, like go up, go, like spread your wings almost. So it's
Yeah.
been fun, but it's also tough. Like there's a lot of AM tournaments that I didn't realize that I play in. So there's a lot
Mhm.
of tournaments that I can't play in anymore because they don't have FPO, or I would have to play MA1 or MA2, which I'm allowed to. For FPO, there's different levels depending on your rating where you can still play in the
Oh,
AMs.
interesting.
Yeah, I did a lot of research into it, and since I'm 910 rated now, that might be different, but I can go play MA1 even when I accept cash. I still haven't accepted cash yet.
Hmm. Yeah.
Waiting for the right tournament.
For the mixed divisions, your rating would put you in MA2. You're
Yeah.
rated out of MA3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're a damn good player. You've beaten me on a
Yeah.
few occasions. So,
You've definitely beat me too,
because
though.
I'm definitely the bar, that's what everybody strives to be,
Right
the beat the host of the Mediocre Disc Golf Podcast.
there. It's been fun though. It's been fun. We've been with work starting up, I travel every weekend, so I've been trying to
Mhm.
bring my bag and get rounds in. I think 2, 3 weeks ago I was in Arizona and I got to play a course that Drew Gibson plays a lot, and that was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And I got to play it by myself, which is really good when you play some courses by yourself. You start to learn like your mental game better. So that really helped me a lot. This
Mhm.
weekend was 35 degrees and raining in Oregon, and I decided I wasn't going to bring my bag.
That makes sense.
This weekend we're in Indiana though, so I'm going to try to sneak off if I can, but most likely I don't think the flights work out. But try to get in disc golf anytime I can.
Yeah, definitely. You'll have to go back and listen to our first episode with Kevin Fodry because he talks about a course. I forget what area in Indiana, but he was helping build, and there's a couple of really good courses that he was talking about in the area he's in. I can't remember exactly where that is.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I mean, I'm I think last year I was posting in like the disc golf pages and I was like, hey, I'm in town. I've got a couple hours. Does anybody want to hang out with me? And in Des Moines, a couple of the people who run the Des Moines area and like kind of really help out with the Des Moines Challenge were like, yeah, come on out. And it was the best time. They were just the kindest people. And it just was fun. And that course, Picard Park, just has a special place in my heart now because it was just an amazing time.
Yeah, it's always amazing, the disc golfing community, because I went out to De La Viega when I was out in California for a work thing, and same thing of just went out to the course, had no idea where everything was, and had multiple groups because I guess the way it's laid out, like people play different loops and do like their
Mhm.
own thing, but like one group would drop me off at a hole and then the next group would kind of pick me up and guide me through and all that. And it's really cool when that happens.
It is. It's just sweet. Like I when I was in Arizona last year, I had a lot of time. So I was like, ooh, I'll go play the course the Memorial's at. And they
Mm-hmm.
had doubles that day. So they jumped in with doubles. They had me with a local guy. They actually had me with another guy. And then I think like, apparently the guy wasn't the nicest person.
Mm-hmm.
So they switched me to hang out with a local and he was great. We had a wonderful time. We lost, but we had a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all about fun. And that's
Yeah.
what I've been trying to focus on lately. The MA1 grind can be tough, especially
Uh,
in an area like this, and playing against people like Jonathan Crow, Michael Montgomery, your husband Josh Hatcher, where I mean, those guys, any of them can go out and beat anybody on any given day if they
yeah,
if they're just feeling good. to
definitely.
to be working your way up in MA1. I've kind of had to have the same conversations with myself that you're talking about of like, where am I at?
Where am I
Where do
at?
I want to be? How much effort will it take to get to where I want to be? Is that where I want to be realistic?
Mm-hmm.
So uh something that we are going to be talking about on the podcast a lot and kind of focusing on is being regular people in with like regular jobs in the disc golf world, and kind of the realities of practicing and all that sort of stuff, and
Oh, 100%.
balancing work, balancing family, plus our
I've got my
hobby
dream
that turns
job.
into a job.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you said MA1. Aren't you playing this weekend, MA1 through Throwdown?
Yeah,
How
going
you
down
feeling?
to one of my favorite courses that I've ever played. I think it would be high on that UDisc Top 100 if it was open year round, but it's only open for 1 month. So if you're in the
Yeah.
Tampa area, it's worth the hour or so drive. It's one of the coolest courses you'll play in Florida. It's in an old limestone quarry. So you're throwing off of cliffs, and there's a ton of coverage from Terry Miller does coverage for the pro weekend every year. Jomez was there back in 2019. So there's a lot of coverage if you're interested to see what the course looks like, but it's nuts, and it's going to be a big field of like 130, 140
Hmm.
MA1 players. I'm really excited. I took off a lot of work just to go play extra practice rounds, not even because like my goal isn't to win. My goal is to just go have a really fun time because this
Hmm.
it's a course that can get frustrating, but at the same time it's very cathartic because we don't have disc golf like this down here. So to have the opportunity
Yeah.
to play something like that is really, really cool.
Like, are you pumped? I mean, last year for Throwdown, what division did you play in?
I played MA2 and I played MA2 poorly. I was actually talking to our group chat about it. I had one birdie the entire weekend
Oh my
and I came in like 113th or something. And I'm a different person disc golf, outside of
God.
disc golf, mentally, physically. I'm an entirely different person. So I'm excited to go attack this course because it's a different layout too. I'm playing
Yeah.
closer to the pro layout than I was last year, but I'm also more confident going in
Yeah.
because I know what I can do. Uh, and I kind of been picking up other things back. I'm getting back in touch with my ball golf background again. Went to Top Golf with you and Josh. That was a lot of fun.
That was so fun. That was great.
And I took my wife to the Players Championship this
Mhm.
weekend, like 15 minutes down the road from me. And it was just really interesting, like watching these high level pros do the same thing that like I feel like I do as an
100%.
amateur in disc golf. Like they were in trouble, they punched out to the fairway and reassessed. And that was, I think, the big thing of watching this tournament, because I've grown up going to this tournament and
Mhm.
watching it on TV all my life. And something just kind of clicked. The leader was ahead by like 4 or 5 strokes, and they were talking about how he's just playing his game. He doesn't care about how anybody else is playing around him. His approach is, if he has a good weekend, no one's going to beat him. If he has a
Yeah.
bad weekend, he doesn't care that he's down by however many strokes. That's just how it is. He controls the controllables. And I think that's the approach that I'm going to be taking into Throwdown, is controlling the controllables. If Josh, Crow, uh, Jedi, like all these really, really good MA1 players just go boat race everybody else, that doesn't determine whether I had a good tournament, whether I had fun.
Yeah, there's a ton of guys playing this in MA1 this weekend. Ton of
Mm-hmm.
guys. Let's see who's the highest rated. I want to see. Oh, it's
Crow
Crow.
at it's Crow at 990. So Crow, and then I think Jedi is the second.
Yep. And then Mike Montgomery. I love Michael Montgomery. He's so nice. And then Rolo's playing. Rolo's one of the top guys in South Florida. He's a great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we go down and play, he's great. And then a couple of guys who don't recognize his names, but they're just Clearwater guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tyler Shaw's playing. Tyler Shaw's great. If Tyler shows up, he's gonna give everybody a run for their money. He is a great person.
Yeah, it's always such a deep field that if you want to be competitive, like this is the field to do it. It's
Yeah,
interesting
definitely.
comparing like local MA1 events where myself at like mid 930s, generally one of the higher rated MA1 players, because at those tournaments, Josh, Mike,
They all go up.
Jonathan, they all go to MPO and just
Hmm.
don't take cash. But for this, it's the big time. It's an A tier.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, last weekend was MA2 and
Yep.
FA1. And I was so this weekend with Oregon, we were thinking about not going. That we
Mhm.
didn't have a lot of kids at the go no go date, and
Mhm.
we eventually decided to, but there was a thought. So I was like, "Ooh, what tournament can I go play in?" So I was checking out the FA1 field, and although I'm just not comfortable playing FA1 anymore, I just don't feel like I need to be with how high my rating is.
Mhm.
It had 16 ladies in the division, 16.
Mhm.
So it was insane. And a lot of them are girls I played with. We had two, Alex and Michonne, they're from Miami. We had Sasha from Lakeland. We had Christy, Sarah Woodboom. I love Sarah Woodboom.
Sarah's
She's a
awesome.
great person.
Mhm.
Isabel Trotta, she's a new name up and coming. She's actually from my area. She's here in Port Orange. And she had a rough first round, but she really pulled together the next couple rounds and like I think she finished in like fourth. Yep, fourth. But Rebecca took the win for FA1. Rebecca is a friend of mine. She played in the South Florida Open with me in December,
Mhm.
and we've just kind of kept in touch, social media. She's trying to go on tour and show off the tour life. And she played in the Las Vegas Challenge, played in the Memorial, she played in a couple tournaments, and she flew out to go play in this weekend. And I'm really happy that she came in first. She works really hard.
That's
Like if you
awesome.
see her social media, she will tell you she works hard for it and she
Mhm.
loves the game.
Yeah, I mean that just goes to show this is not just any A tier. People in this
Hmm.
area take Throwdown seriously, and
Although
it's
I
so
did
serious.
hear
Mhm.
that some of the ladies were pretty mad that MA2 and FA1 were playing the same course. Did
Uh,
hear a couple comments about that.
how does that work ratings wise? Does it change the rating?
they get rated against each other, which is kind of a new topic nowadays that like a lot of girls don't want that. I want to be compared to the guys. Like, I mean, if you shoot 5 down and I shoot 5 down, our rating should be the same. Like,
I agree.
that's my opinion. A lot of ladies don't agree, and that's fine. They just feel like guys can throw harder. Even a guy at the same level as a girl can throw harder and they can do things a little bit better. So we shouldn't be rated against each other. But I did hear a couple comments that the ladies wanted to play somewhat of a different layout just so they weren't um, rated against the guys.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a topic that we'll have to get into in the future because I don't know how I feel about that and how that exactly works. Like
Yeah.
I think gut feeling I fall in the same spot as you, but that's just I've always ball golf, all that sort of stuff. I've always played, worried about handicap, how my handicap compares to everybody else. Like when I
Yeah.
was a kid, I wanted to know how my handicap compared to the 18-year-olds that were playing in that same tournament. Like I always wanted to be comparing myself to the best possible person. I didn't care that those
Yeah.
people, I didn't care that the older kids were hitting it further than me. I wanted to figure out how I could get there. But
I mean, that's how I
that's,
feel. But
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's definitely a topic we should definitely get into sometime this podcast. I think it'd be a
Hmm.
great conversation, and maybe bring in some ladies who do have a good, maybe even bring Rebecca on here and just talk to her about that because I know she's got a voice and she wants the ladies' side to really grow. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. For anybody who's down at Throwdown, if you end up losing a disc, which I've had a couple of discs just evaporate into midair, go check out the disc shop.
Yeah.
And on Friday, March 17th, when this comes out, Halo Star Bosses, Thunderbirds, and TL3s are all going to be in stock at the disc shop. So you can use our code MDGPOD to get 10% off on any order, but especially on those Halo Star Bosses. So go ahead and check them out Friday.
What was that code again? Hit me with that code.
MDGPOD.
MDG Pod, 10% off. Heck yeah.
Everybody likes new frisbees, especially when they're 10% cheaper.
Oh yeah, you can use that. It's on sale.
Yeah. And it's if you save money, it's like you didn't buy anything at all. Like,
Exactly. Yes.
so go check out our friends at the disc shop and see what they have in stock. Kim, did you get a chance? I know you were traveling to watch anything from Waco.
I when I do my gigs, I always like I have to have my phone on me in case something happens. I've got
Hmm.
people I've got to take care of. I've got kids everywhere. And I've got disc golf in the next tab, of course. So I had the ladies I couldn't watch. That was mid-event, and I didn't want to get my phone out. But after our event was over, the guys were finishing up, so I had that out, and I was able to watch the final holes, and it was insane. Like these guys are amazing. Like the stakes are this high. I mean, Kyle Klein threw a 1084 to win it, to win. Like it's just crazy. In the past couple tournaments, it's just come close and come to the last couple holes.
There was a point on, I want to say after the second round where there were 13 people in the MPO. There's 13 people within 3 strokes, and
I saw that. I think
it
it was
was
round
insane.
one. Yeah, round one, there was a crap ton of people within 3 strokes of each other. And that's amazing. Like, yes, I love the competition. And Adam Hammis has been just going off lately. Like, he had a great weekend last weekend at the Memorial. He had a great weekend this weekend. Like, I wish he could have taken down the win, but like, it was it was great. I mean, when Kyle, because Kyle was on chase card, this was the chase card win. And I remember he birdied it and he wasn't celebrating really. Like everybody else was celebrating around him. They were congratulating him. He didn't look like he was like super like saying anything. And I remember listening and I don't remember who said it, but they were like, James Conrad has taught us that you cannot celebrate too early.
Yeah,
I was like, that is a great point because Hammis could have aced that hole
send it to a
to
playoff.
send it to a playoff. And you just, yeah, it was great. And then Cole Redolin, I think that's how you say it, like shooting an insane 10 down with 4 bogey strokes. That's insane.
Yeah, young kid too. Like I think this weekend was very much with Ricky out. Paul apparently got poison ivy in his eye.
Oh God, that's awful.
Uh, I mean, the young guns really showed out, and then Nate Sexton also.
Yeah, Nate Sexton, he got ninth this weekend. Pretty
Hmm.
good.
He had a perfect round going for a while. I think he was 8 down through 8. I think he might have been 10 down through 10 at one point, but it was such a good watch. And then, unfortunately for Ella, it was also an exciting finish in
Oh my
FPO.
gosh.
She's gonna
I
win.
She's gonna win. Like we had just gone out to dinner a couple days ago. It was me, Josh, my husband, Cole Hunter, who used to be a local pro but still plays with us all the time. He's amazing. And Matt
Mhm.
Hoffman. We all went out and just talking disc golf, and we were like, "Oh, Kyle Klein, like he's gonna get a big win." And of course, Kyle won. We were all kind of like, "Oh, that's
Funny.
kind of weird, interesting."
Uh-huh.
And we had also been talking about Ella. We were like, Ella needs to get a big win. That would be awesome. And the fact that kind of both of those almost happened with Ella, she was so close. She ended up bogeying the last 3 holes. And did you watch the coverage yet? Or did you watch it live?
I watched the coverage. I was busy in the mornings, unfortunately, but I, it's great that Jomez has FPO. It was Gatekeeper, or no, it was GK Pro before.
Mm-hmm.
Jomez does it better. So uh it wasn't that I didn't like watching FPO. I didn't like watching GK Pro as much. So now
Yeah.
I've watched every single FPO round on Jomez.
It's
But
awesome. I love
it's
it.
so good. But yeah, I watched the coverage, and Ella was in complete control until she wasn't.
But
And
I
that's how quickly the momentum shifts. It goes from a
100%.
four-stroke lead to a two-stroke lead. And when that four-stroke lead goes to a two-stroke lead, there's kind of I've been there mentally. You have that, oh shit moment.
Like 100%. If you look at the score, it kept swinging. Like Ella did really great. Kristen got a string. Ella did decent. Kristen pops a double bogey, and then 16. Like I think that's she might have had a 5 stroke lead. I don't know if I'm doing my math right at all, but she had a pretty big lead. She bogeys going in 18. She's got the lead by 1. And I love Ella, and I would do the same. I would like she went for the water, and I don't blame her for it. Like I agree, but she pulled it way too right. I think she was thinking like, oh, I'll go, but I'll be right. Like kind of like rationalizing it in her head, like that's going to be my great idea, and I
Hmm.
could feel it. Like when I watch FPO coverage from now, and I'm trying to get like what they're thinking, and is that what I'm thinking, and everything, and I felt that because I would say that I'm a big bomber for girls at least, and I would have gone across the water too. I would have totally gone across, and the fact that it went OB long because she pulled it too far right, and
Hmm.
then all she needed to do was par it, and she still could have done it, and she shorts her upshot.
Yeah.
And Kristen with an amazing putt to win it, and it just heartbreaking. There's a photo, I don't know if you've seen it, with Ella and all of her close friends that are on
Hmm.
tour, and they're
Yeah.
all just hugging her. And I that makes me love the sport so much because Christian went up and immediately gave her a hug too. Like, unfortunately, that's the game, and
Someone's got to win.
the disc giveth and the disc taketh away.
Yeah.
So,
Again, back to the disc golf culture. I was in a playoff with a guy that I played both rounds with. I ended up losing the playoff. The first thing that guy did was come over and give me a hug because
mhm,
I had a putt chain out to send it to the next playoff hole. Like we were
mhm.
3 playoff holes deep, and I had to spit out. And that's just disc golf, man.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely. If you watch previous coverage, I remember pulling up round 1 and round 2. Round 2 for Kristen was rough. She just wasn't hitting lines, and it was coming out early, and it wasn't. it wasn't clicking. And to see Kristen just kind of like stay her game, like she didn't shoot out of her mind. What she shoot 5 down, 990. It's not out of her mind. It's around what she's averaging nowadays. I mean, her rating's around 980. Let me
Mm-hmm.
get it accurate. 988. So like shot a rating. She didn't do anything impressive, but she stayed her course. And when LO started struggling, she just stayed focused.
Yeah, I think Kristen's gonna be tough to beat this year. I think she's gonna go full Terminator.
I agree. Did she get surgery over the off season? I thought I saw something about her getting surgery.
On her knee.
I don't remember, but I
She
mean,
did get surgery. I can't remember what it was on, but I
yeah,
mean, she didn't look like she recovering from surgery.
yeah, not at all. She came out firing and even
Mm-hmm.
didn't have the best rounds and came out firing. This was her first tournament of the year, so she has not been playing. She has not played in a bit. So the podcast, super exciting, not just adding me to the whole shebaggle of anything. We're also kind of mixing it up a little bit. So the
Mm-hmm.
episodes, we're changing up the schedule. We're going to alternate between full interviews and not splitting them into 2 episodes because sometimes you're forgetting what happened in the first part. And we understand that completely. So,
Yep, we've heard your feedback.
yeah, definitely. Whole new take. We're going to alternate between our full interviews and we're going to focus a lot more on just learning episodes. So, the whole name of the podcast is the Mediocre Disc Golf. It's for the mediocre disc golf player, which is all about learning. And although I'm someone playing in the FPO field, you put me in the men field, I'm mediocre compared to all the guys. So what we want to do with this new schedule, I guess you could say, or just new layout, is we want to make sure that we're getting something out of this and you're getting something out of this. So we are adding some new segments and focusing on just what do you guys want to learn from? Like, how do you get better at accuracy, power, forehands, scramble game, that kind of stuff. Putting, that's huge. So, Evan, go ahead and tell them what the new segments are going to be.
So one of our segments is going to be the professor's drill of the week coming in April. So
Yep.
that is going to be your husband, Josh
My
Hatcher,
husband.
giving us and our listeners a drill to focus on for that whole month. I said drill of the week. I meant drill of the month. I can't take my own notes. This is why it's the Mediocre Disc Golf Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
We did a week, that would be a lot of drills. That would just
That'd
be
be a
lot.
lot of drills. Yeah, so the focus of these drills is going to be doing them once a week. So the average disc golfer who can get out once, maybe twice per week, can still get better. And we all want to get better together. So Kim and I will be posting videos of us doing the drill. And we'd love to see everybody else. We'd love to see our listeners doing the drills and throw in a little special something for everybody. If you tag us in your Instagram posts of you doing the drill, whatever our giveaway is for that month, you will get extra giveaway entries.
Ooh.
So you'll be getting better and increasing your odds of getting free stuff. So
yeah.
What's not to love?
Yeah, with Josh, I mean, his nickname is the professor for a couple of reasons. One, because he wears glasses, and two, because he teaches. But the main reason the guys call him professor on the disc golf course is he loves to help. He really does. He jokes that he made me. But I mean, a lot of his drills, he already has me do a lot of the time, but Josh feels that he wants to share what he's got. He's got a lot of knowledge and he wants to share that. So I'm really excited for that segment and I think it'd be great. He's going to be able to post it on his Instagram and collab with us. So that way everyone can see it and it'll just be a really great post. And he'll be able to come on to the podcast as well and just walk us through it and just give us a whole rundown of what the drill is and how this is going to help you in little specifics. And it'll be great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I can always use more help every time I play with Josh. He's got like 4 more things for me to fix. I'm really looking forward to having a focused thing. And I really want to see how everyone gets better together. That's going to be the most exciting thing for me.
Yeah. I feel that he always comes up with something new. You're like, this week you're doing this. I'm like, great. Wasn't doing that last week. What other new segment do we have? We got one more.
So our other news segment, and we're about to jump right into it. You guys don't have to wait until April for this. It's called Hoppy's Heaters, brought to you by Spike Heiser Dyes. So this is going to be where our social media manager, Matt Hoffman, gives his hot takes on things that nobody else is talking about. That might be for a good reason.
Probably.
So we're only giving him 90 seconds, and I'm going to cut him off. He
Oh my
sent me a
goodness.
recording. We're going to just react to it cold and
Oh,
then
we
give
are.
our reactions
Oh, I'm pumped. Let's do it.
and he has no ability to rebuttal. So sorry,
Yeah.
Matt. It better be good.
If anybody's met Matt Hoffman, passionate, passion. Also, golden retriever personality, but passion. So I'm pumped. Let's see, 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Do we have a topic? Do we know what he's talking about?
So this is going to be about Vans versus Terexes as disc golf shoes.
What? All right, man. Sold.
This week, I wanted to hit on a really hard-hitting subject for me and a lot of people out there, and I think it's finally time someone had to say it. Adidas Terrex has an absolute monopoly on disc golf shoes, and I'm tired of seeing it. I'm over it, and I'm going to be singing my praises of the new Vans outdoor hiking boots. To my friends who wear Vans, I've never respected it. I've never been a fan of it, but I got to say right now, the new Vans hiking boots have to be one of the best shoes for disc golf I've ever seen. I am tired of paying $200, $250, even $275 for the Terrex free hikers. Who the hell has that much money for a pair of shoes? I don't. I make barely enough to survive. I'm not paying $275 for a pair of shoes. Terrex, your time is over. Vans has come out with this amazing line of outdoor sports shoes, and I think they're going to absolutely rock this year's Pro Tour, all of it. And I think that we're going to see a lot of the Vans family start taking over that line of just saying, we're here to stay. Terrex can go and move on. And we just think that like this Glitter 8 skate shoe just looks awesome to wear. The High Del Palto is going to be one of the best shoes for weather, for rainy weather. And I just think that this year Vans is really going to have to.
Did you cut him off? Is that 90 seconds?
So that was it's exactly what we
That's
tell
exactly what I expected, not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to say I disagree completely because not just, don't get me wrong, Terrexes are overrated, but I have a pair. But these Vans are the ugliest things on the planet. I don't know who came up with this design. I've got it up right now. I was like, let me just Google what these look like. These are the ugliest shoes, and they're high tops.
Yeah, I'm not going to play in high tops.
I'm not playing in high tops.
I live in Florida. It might be good for those who are out playing disc golf in the snow, but high tops just mean more spots for water to get in. Like it's just not. It's going to be hot. It's going to be. Like
I
completely
understand.
disagree.
Terrexes are expensive, but these Vans, they're not the cheapest.
I want to know where he's getting his Terrexes. I've never seen a pair of Terrexes for $275.
Those are
I have
like
a
the
really
Gore-Tex
nice pair
ones.
of Nike Gore-Tex shoes that were like 160, and that was like, ooh, that's expensive. I don't know if he's got like a black market dealer or
yeah. I mean, I
Matt,
get it. Shoes are
gonna
expensive.
talk.
Yeah, we need to talk. I get shoes are expensive. Josh blows through shoes because when Josh plays, he's always driving with power. When you drive with power, he's dragging his toe. He destroys his shoes. But like, the trick is to have multiple pairs. One, and also
don't buy the $275 ones.
Yeah, you want to go to like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, get $40. Josh at one point was getting like Walmart tread safes, and they lasted a couple months, and they cheap. I have like 5 pairs of shoes I rotate. 2 of them are turf shoes that were from work that they're softball turfs, and they actually work pretty well on the ground. So I got those. I got some Solomons that were not expensive at all. They were like $80 and they're waterproof. Like
Calvin plays in just regular running shoes.
Yeah, I don't do that because I will destroy my running shoes. But the trick is just to get a good amount at cheap and rotate. If you rotate your
Hmm.
shoes, they'll last. Josh and I play every single day, and our shoes are dying a little bit, but that's how you get it to last and not buy $275 Terexes, which is very interesting. I want to see what those look like.
Yeah, they better be made out of gold.
Made out of gold. I like the heater. I like that we 90 seconds is all he gets. We don't need more than that.
Yeah, any more, and I think he would just talk our ear off.
Probably. I'm seeing 180 is the most expensive, and they're pretty ugly. They're high tops.
Maybe Matt just likes the high tops. We'll
Maybe he
have
just
to check
loves
in
some
with
high
him.
tops. Oh, I found some $260 Adidas Terex free hiker cold. I don't know what that word is. Hiking boots. Those are $280. Those are the ugliest things. If you wear that to a course, I'm going to crack a comment at you.
Mediocre podcast is now shaming people for their shoes.
Happily. Happily. Those are not it. I think they're for snow.
Apparently, Matt thinks people are disc golfing in them.
Yeah, we're all going hiking in the snow, even me.
Well, that was quite the heater. And if you want a disc that's an absolute heater, go check out Spikeheiser Dyes. Brandon is creating amazing dyes for everyone to enjoy, and you can check him out on Instagram at shdyes_DG and see what he has to offer in his shop. Or you can request something custom. Spikeheiser Dyes, excellence by design.
Dude, I love Brandon's dyes so much, and he's awesome. So I
Yeah,
just love the fact that he'll like do anything you want. Like give him a disc that you think is not the prettiest disc on the planet, but it's a go-to, and he can zhuzh it up.
yeah, he's got some cool stuff. He's got all sorts of different techniques. You guys bought a couple of things from him that varying styles. Like some dyers you see all do the cell dyes, all do uh the stencil dyes and stuff like that. He does it all. So go check him out. Well, Kim, first episode as co-host. Got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm just pumped. I love talking about disc golf. It sounds weird, but again, when we went up to dinner the other night, Cole's wife came along and I felt horrible, but all we were talking about is disc golf, and that's all I wanted to talk about either. So I'm really glad to be here. I'm like super excited, and I'm pumped to talk about disc golf and get some tips and tricks and listen to Hoffy just go off for 90 seconds. So I'm really pumped to be here.
Awesome. We're glad you're here. Well, that wraps it up for today. You could find Kim on Instagram at Kim the Great and me at Evan Amstutz DG. Remember to follow the pod on Instagram at Mediocre Disc Golf Pod and on Twitter at Mediocre DG Pod. If you want to support us, buy our shirts on mythicdiscgolf.com and listen to us every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern. If you enjoyed the show, give us 5 stars in a review. And if you didn't, still give us 5 stars and tell us why. We know we aren't perfect because we are mediocre. Have a good night.